For me, self-harm is something that I'd like to touch upon, because for very many people it's a difficult concept to grasp. Why would you want to hurt yourself if you're in pain? How can you do this to your own body? How can you hurt yourself when you are saying that you're hurting inside? It is, again, I cannot speak for everyone who does practice self-harm, but for me, in my case, it was a very misguided attempt at regaining control over my life, regaining control over my mind. Nobody can hurt me more than I can hurt myself. Nobody else has the courage or determination to cut up my legs, but I do. That's where it came from. Earlier, again, I said that I do not owe anyone an explanation for my issues, but I'd like to share one thing that I believe was a pretty major factor for the issues that I've had. One thing before I do say that though, depression is an aggregation of circumstance. It's not your fault, but at the same time, it's not based on any one incident either. One thing that did affect me though a lot was the fact that I've been sexually abused multiple times in my life. One of the first time was when I was 6 or 7 years old, approximately. But every single time that it happened, it was by someone that I knew and trusted. It was somebody who was supposed to look after me. And it's just, I did not register it immediately. When you're 6, you have no concept of what sex even is. So I didn't register it, I just shrugged it off. Like, okay, I'm not supposed to tell anyone. I was told not to tell anyone, so I did not. And then just shrugged it off, which took, for it to set in, the shock that it created within my mind was not for hours. It was for years. It was for over a decade. Rape does not discriminate whether you're a victim or the abuser. Your gender, your race, your age, your caste, your creed does not matter. I was a child who was 6 when I was the youngest. One thing that I think around when I was 11 or 12, when I started to understand the concept of virginity, I had this very clear thought in my mind. But I'm not a virgin anymore. Am I valued less? From there, I started to blame myself as I got older, beyond the age of around 12. I started to think, is this my fault? Did I let this happen to myself? So is it something that I brought onto myself? And one thing that I had in my mind was, how could I have been so stupid? But then I realized that in every single instance, it was somebody taking an advantage of somebody in a vulnerable position. Somebody that I knew and trusted every single time. One of the instances, it was a woman. The abuser was a woman. So to anyone who says that women are not capable of rape, please think again. One thing that people say a lot to their children is to be wary of strangers, to be careful about like strangers on the street and all. But I'm backed up by statistics when I say this, that sexual abuse, most instances come from within the circle of familiarity, come from within the circle of people that you already know. You are far more likely to be harassed by somebody you know from family, from work, from your neighborhood, than you are by a stranger on the street. We need to we as a culture need to learn to stop normalizing chhed by an uncle, and instead teach people to talk about it and to realize that these things that have this sort of impact on your mind, that you still have valid feelings. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to not feel comfortable. But it's definitely not okay to just laugh it off or to brush it under the carpet. A lot of the damage that has happened to me has come from me trying to brush it under the carpet, me not being able to fully process my own emotions and feelings till it erupted. Another symptom that I had a lot was sort of creating a dependence on food. I struggled with my weight a lot, from eating too much to starving myself, so just having these cycles going up and down. And it was extremely painful because it was substance abuse in a way. To fill a gap, to sort of fulfill an emotional need, I used food. So that's why I'm calling it like substance abuse, that I was using it for an emotional need. I was not overeating because I was greedy, or because I was like, or because I really liked food or whatever, but because I was doing it to fill a hole inside. The dopamine hit that I got, the very temporary dopamine hit that I got from food, was something that I became addicted to almost. One thing that I struggled with was making friends. So because I've moved around a lot, I've never known physical or mental stability. So I naturally did struggle making friends. And I have this friend who told me that for 22 years he's lived in the same address. And that blew my mind. In my 22 years, I've changed house 16 times. I've changed schools 8 times, 9 if you count college. It's it was circumstantial, but it's something that definitely did have an impact on my mind, because I was not able to cement my ability to form relationships. So the sort of social skills that most people had around me, for me it was really underdeveloped. So I was still trying to find my way to fit in. I became a complete pushover, but I'm working on that now. The same way that I am working on my relationship with food, about not being dependent on it so much and actually losing weight through diet and exercise. I said this already, that I think it's important to discuss things like this, because maybe it will help someone. Maybe somebody else will realize that it's okay to ask for help. In India, we're not so developed as to have a complete acceptance that these issues exist. But definitely, when it comes to depression, anxiety, any sort of mood disorder, or any sort of developmental disorder, we need to realize that there is a definite requirement for intervention, and that you can lead a normal life once that intervention has happened.